All right, one of the last steps, and obviously one of the most important, is making sure that all this hard work everybody's put in pays off and that you get to the closing table and we can hand you those keys and you can go and start living your best life in your new home. That is what the reward is. That's what it's all about. And we are so excited when we get to that point. Now, in order to get there successfully, there's a couple things we want you to know that we're going to navigate you through. Some stormy seas. So we've got the inspection. This is probably one of the most important parts of the contract. If you're not very familiar with the homes here in Texas and what to look for and what not to look for, what should be concerning and what's not, understand that an inspector's job and their whole reason for doing an inspection is to make your home look terrible. I mean, if they see any flaw, even the smallest, they're going to point it out. So even in a new home, guys, they're going to come out with pages of defects in a home. So our job is to help navigate you through that inspection, make sure we get negotiated the most important items. Almost never do we have a home fall apart over the inspection, but it does take the most careful maneuvering of the entire process. And this is where I feel our experience is of utmost importance. It is the most difficult part to negotiate when you are dealing with high emotions, asking a seller and a buyer to come together on repairs. Repairs that sometimes one party doesn't think is necessary and the other does. How do we bridge that gap? So we're going to be here to make sure that you're moving into a home that you feel safe in, comfortable in, and that the most important items are taken care of. We also want to make sure that the home appraises and that we don't have any issues with that appraisal, because that could really blow the whole thing up much closer to the closing date. So we have systems and processes in place to make sure we're working with the right people and to educate you up front before we make the offer on the appraisal process, which basically means, does the home come in at a value with the bank of what we have agreed to buy the home at? And if it doesn't, what does that mean? I want you to know that there's a lot to know about that. It's one of the biggest reasons that offers do or do not get accepted in today's market. So we want to educate you on the appraisal process, make sure that we get you to closing with the right lender on the time that we put on the contract. Just because we put a date on the contract doesn't mean it's smooth sailing. It actually takes a huge team effort and a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of phone calls, paperwork, and stress that hopefully you never see or even hear about, which is why our team comes in and picks up that load to make sure you get to closing without ever feeling the weight of it. Okay, so give us a call, click on the link, let's get started and talk to you about all of your options now.